My own dad mocked me for leaving school and told me to leave. He did not know I secretly built a $21 million business and owned a house by the beach. It all started when I was Jaime, 33 years old. I made a $21 million company all by myself with no college degree. For many years, I helped my family with money and bills without them knowing. They did not like my job choices. Then at my dad's 62nd birthday dinner last month, bad things happened. He did not just say I was dumb for not going to school. He told me to get out of his house. He did not know how well I was doing. I grew up in a regular part of Columbus, Ohio. People expected you to go to college and then get a good job. My dad, Henrik, worked as an accountant for 30 years at the same place. He thought you needed a college degree to do well in life. My mom, Elizabetta, taught young kids at school. She felt the same way. But when I was 10 years old, I knew I was different. My brother Kevin and sister Sophia did what they were supposed to do. I sold lemonade in a special way, with cards and different types. When I was 14, I fixed computers for people near my home. I charged less money than computer stores. My parents just thought these were cute things I did for fun. My dad would say at dinner, "Jaime needs to focus on school. These games will not help her pay bills when she grows up." High school went by fast. I got good grades, but I really liked reading books about business and reading about business owners online. Kevin and Sophia did many after-school activities to look good for college. I started my own online business selling phone cases that I made myself. I made about $2,500 before I finished high school. I went to a local college to make my parents happy. I went for just one half of the school year. That was all I needed to know. I was right about not liking it. The strict rules and teachers who never had a real business made me feel like I was in jail. When I told my parents I wanted to quit school, we fought for many days. My dad yelled with a red face, "You will ruin your life. No child of mine will quit college and work for low pay forever." But I left anyway. I was 18 years old with only $2,500 saved from my small jobs. I was ready to bet on myself. The first few months were very hard. I rented a small apartment in a not-so-safe area. It was the kind of place where you would not do your laundry when it was dark outside. I ate cheap food like ramen noodles. I worked 18 hours every day on my online store. My first 3 businesses all failed. I lost money with one business where I sold things for other companies. My social media business failed because I charged too little money. My handmade jewelry business couldn't grow big enough. Each failure made me feel bad, but I also learned important lessons. I learned about how to get products, how to make deals with customers, and how to make a business bigger. I learned by doing it myself, not from books. My life changed when I met Isabel. She was 20 years older than me and had sold many businesses successfully. She saw something good in me that my family never saw. She became the teacher I really needed. She gave me good business advice and did not judge me for not having a college degree. Over coffee, she told me, "Jaime, there are many ways to get an education. Some of the most successful people I know learn by doing things, not by sitting in class." When I was 21, with Isabel's help, I started my new business plan. It was a website that helped small American makers find people who wanted to buy things made in America. It was the perfect time to start this business because many people wanted to support small businesses and products made in America. The beginning was very hard work. My small apartment became my office. My couch bed was where I sat, and I worked from 11 at night until 5 in the morning. I did everything from writing computer code for the website to helping customers. After 8 months, something good happened. A famous person who writes online talked about one of the makers on my website. Then many people wanted to buy things.
It was very busy, but in a good way. I worked for 72 hours without stopping to send orders and make the website better. That one mention made me $12,500, more money than I ever had in my bank account. I called my parents with excitement. My dad did not sound happy. He said, "That's nice, dear, but it probably won't last. You can always go back to college when this business ends." His words hurt me, but they also made me want to work harder. I would show him he was wrong, not by fighting, but by doing so well he could not deny it. For the next 6 years, my business kept growing, and I faced new problems. My website, called Heartland Made, grew from having 27 makers in 3 states to more than 400 makers in all 50 states. Each time my business grew, a new problem appeared. During a big sale, our computer system stopped working. I stayed up for 48 hours with computer experts, answering emails from customers myself. A bigger company tried to take our best sellers. I drove to visit each seller, built good relationships with them, and offered them more money to stay with us. The hardest time was in the second year, when we almost ran out of money. We were growing too fast and had more products than we could sell. I did not pay myself for 4 months, moved to an even smaller apartment, and got more time to pay my bills. Those months taught me how to be careful with money, which was very important. Good things kept happening. Our first office had 3 workers and made more than $1 million each year. After everyone went home, I celebrated by myself in my office with 1 glass of champagne. During all this time, I did not tell my family how well I was doing. They knew I had an online business that was working, but I always made it sound smaller than it was. Their lack of support from the beginning made it hard for me to share my success. A part of me hoped they would ask me more questions to show they really cared, but that never happened. Even though they did not support me much, I still helped them with money. When my mom found out she had breast cancer in the 4th year, I secretly paid the $75,200 in hospital bills that her insurance did not cover. My dad thought they got lucky with insurance money that saved them. He never knew I paid. My brother Kevin needed $41,000 to buy a house. I gave him the money like a family loan. I also made it look like it came from a faraway relative. He took the money happily, but he still said I should get a real job with good pay. My sister Sophia's dream wedding almost didn't happen when her boyfriend lost his job. I paid the $55,000 for the party place and food. Sophia knew I paid, but at family get-togethers she would say, "Haim's little internet business did okay this year." It hurt inside that my family didn't know how well I was doing. During the day, I ran big meetings for my company worth millions of dollars. I made choices that helped hundreds of small businesses. I talked to big store companies. At night, my family sent me texts. They still saw me as someone who quit school and just got lucky online. My company office took up a whole floor in a big building. I had 37 people working for me. A business magazine said my company was worth $21 million. I owned most of it. I said no to people who wanted to buy my company, even though it would make me rich, because I wanted to keep control. When my dad's 60th birthday came close, I made a decision. It was time to tell the truth. I didn't want to show off. I wanted to change their minds about me. I wanted the respect I wanted for so long. I bought a big gift. It was a retirement account with money already in it. I planned to give it to him at his birthday dinner. I also planned to tell him about my company. The night before, I practiced what I would say. I was not the scared 19-year-old anymore. I was a business owner who helped hundreds of American makers and many workers. I thought for sure this would make my dad respect me. I thought my family would see my way was good. I was very wrong. My dad's birthday party started okay. Their house looked the same. Same furniture, same pictures. The only new thing was a huge TV Kevin bought. He showed it off like it was his big gift. My mom gave me her usual short hug and pat on the back. She said, "You look nice, Jaime. Did you cut your hair?" I had the same haircut for 3 years. Kevin and his wife Anukika came. They dressed up and acted like they had lots of money. Sophia and her husband Mateo came next. Sophia started talking about her job right away. "I'm doing what Dad did," she said. "The bosses say I might get a big promotion next year. I'd be the youngest ever." No one asked me about my work before dinner. When Mateo said something about internet stores, Kevin quickly started talking about his son's sports games instead. We ate Mom's usual beef dinner on nice plates.
My dad sat at the end of the table. People said he looked young for his age. Kevin lifted his glass and said, "You look good at 65, Dad. Hope you live 20 more years." When dessert came, I knew it was time. I waited while they talked about neighbors, Kevin's kids, and Sophia's trips. No one asked me one thing about my life. I said, "Dad, Mom, everyone," even though my heart was beating fast, "I have news about my company." My dad nodded and took more cake. I said, "Heartland Made is worth $21 million now. People want to buy my company. Business Insider and Entrepreneur magazine wrote about me last month. Everyone got very quiet. My mom stopped eating with her fork in the air. Sophia looked surprised at Mateo. Kevin just stared. My dad spoke first. He sounded mean. He said, "What does that mean, Hamie? Internet companies use fake math to say they're worth a lot." I stayed calm. I explained simply how companies get valued. I told them about the money we make and how we grow. I talked about our office, our 37 workers, and over 400 American makers we work with. Kevin stopped me before I finished. He said, "So you got lucky with this internet thing. Good for you. But some of us have real jobs with real degrees." He said degrees like it was important. His wife nodded yes. I said, "It's not luck." My voice was calm but strong. I worked 18 hours a day for 7 years. I solved hard problems. I built something important. We helped save many American makers that were going to close. Kevin stopped me before I finished. He said, "So you got lucky with this internet thing. Good for you. But some of us have real jobs with real degrees." He said degrees like it was important. His wife nodded yes. I said, "It's not luck." My voice was calm but strong. I worked 18 hours a day for 7 years. I solved hard problems. I built something important. We helped save many American makers that were going to close. My mom finally spoke. She sounded unsure. She said, "That sounds good, dear, but I still wish you finished college. School is important even for this." I was getting angry, but I kept going. I said, "Actually, I brought something for you, Dad." I gave him an envelope. It had the papers for the retirement account I paid for. I said, "I wanted to make sure you both have money when you retire." My dad opened the envelope. He didn't look happy. His face got red and looked angry. He said, "What is this? Are you trying to act like you're better than us?" He threw the papers on the table. He said, "We didn't raise you to show off your money." I said, "That's not what I meant. I just wanted to help. Like I helped with Mom's hospital bills, Kevin's house money, and Sophia's wedding." They all looked up at the same time. My dad yelled, You paid for all that?" Sophia looked embarrassed. Kevin looked mad. Mom looked confused. Mom said, "You paid for things without telling us? Acting rich with your internet money?" I said, "I just wanted to help." My voice was quiet. I didn't want thanks. I wanted to help my family. Kevin laughed meanly. He said, "Help? By making us feel poor? Some of us have real jobs with degrees, not get-rich-quick internet tricks." I said, "It's not a trick." I felt the fight getting bad. I said, "I have a real business. It helps American makers. We pay many people good money with benefits." My dad stood up. His napkin fell on the floor. He said, "You quit school when we told you not to. You hid in your internet world. Now you come back throwing money around like you know everything." I said, "That's not what I'm doing." I tried to stay calm. My dad yelled louder. "You think money makes you good? You're still just dumb trash who got lucky. Anyone can get lucky." The room got very quiet. Mom made a small sound, but she didn't help me. Kevin looked at his plate with a mean smile. Sophia looked embarrassed, but kind of agreed. Mom finally said Henrik, but it was too quiet and too late. Dad yelled, "No! I worked hard my whole life the right way. I went to school, I had a good job, I raised a family. I won't have my dropout daughter show me up in my own house." I stood up slowly and got my bag. I said, "I should go." My dad said, "Yes, you should. Get out of my house, you nobody. Your money doesn't make you family." His words hurt like punches. I looked at each face at the table. I looked for anyone who would help me. No one did. I said quietly, "Happy birthday, Dad." I walked to the door with as much pride as I could. No one followed me. No one called my name. I got in my car. My hands shook so much I could barely hold the wheel. As I drove away from the house I grew up in, I knew something important was broken. I thought it could never be fixed. I drove back to my motel. I cried so hard I had to stop the car twice. The sad truth hit me.
My company was worth millions, but I had to sleep in a motel in my own town. I couldn't go to my family's home. In my quiet motel room, I thought about every word said. Was I too proud? Did I understand our family wrong? The money I gave them now felt silly. I tried to buy their love with money. But my success wasn't enough. I got my computer. I counted all the money I gave my family. The list was long. $75,200 for Mom's cancer, $122,000 for Kevin's house, $55,000 for Sophia's wedding, plus Dad's car, Mom's new kitchen, and many gifts. All paid secretly so they wouldn't know. Total, over $310,000, not counting the retirement gift Dad said no to.
I gave all that money because I loved them, but they just called me trash. My phone buzzed at midnight. Sophia texted, "Dad's still mad, but he'll get over it. You know he hates when people say no to him." No sorry, no mention of the mean things he said. She thought I'd just take it and go back like nothing happened. I didn't answer. The next day, I called a therapist. Dr. Richardson said family hurts the most, especially when they make fun of things you worked hard for. She helped me see something. My success made my family feel less important. Giving them money didn't make them thankful. It made them mad. It showed I had more power now. They couldn't accept that. She said, "Your dad thinks he's the boss and the moneymaker. Your success shows he's not those things anymore." I started writing in a journal. I wrote about my childhood. I remembered how they didn't like my business ideas. They liked when I did well in school. But when my business did well, they said it wasn't important. They always said without a college degree, I'd never succeed. I realized I believed them too. Even though I was successful, part of me still felt like the family failure, the dropout who had to prove herself. That's why I didn't talk about my success. That's why I gave money without telling them. A week after the bad dinner, my sister called. I didn't pick up. She left a message. "Hi May, call me back. Dad feels bad, but you need to see how it looked. You came in showing off your money. It was rude to those of us who worked hard at our jobs." I deleted the message. It was crazy. I was the bad guy for telling the truth about my business, after years of making it sound small. My brother texted, "We're family. Let's forget this happened." Again, no sorry. Just thought I'd go back to how things were. 2 weeks after the dinner, I made a hard choice. I chose to respect myself more than fix my family. I would move to my beach house. I bought it in Naples, Florida last year. Before I left, I sent a letter to my parents. It wasn't angry. It was honest about my hurt. It said, "Dear Mom and Dad, for years I wanted you to accept and respect me. I gave you money, but didn't tell you about my success. I didn't want to make you feel bad. I built a $21 million company. It helps American makers keep their jobs. But you made me feel like the family failure because I didn't do what you wanted. When Dad called me dumb, trash, and a nobody, it showed how you really see me. Nothing I do will change that. I can't stay in a relationship where my worth is about a piece of paper, not who I am or what I've done. I'll always love you, but I need to be away for my own health. I hope someday we can be friends with respect. Love, Jaime." I put the letter in an envelope and mailed it myself. They didn't write back. My work helper packed and shipped my things from Ohio. I told her to give away most of my furniture and stuff. I wanted a new start, not much stuff to carry. My company could run from far away. I had good workers who could handle daily work. When I got on the plane to Florida, I felt sad and free at the same time. The family I tried so hard to please was gone. The need for their approval was gone too. Naples, Florida was warm and smelled like the ocean, very different from the cold gray Ohio winter I left. My beach house was new and had 2 floors. Big windows faced the ocean. It was on a quiet part of the beach. It felt empty, like a fancy hotel. Making the house feel like home helped me feel better. I took out the plain beige bed covers. I put on quilts made by one of my Heartland-made makers. I took down art made in factories. I put up art by new American artists I met through work. Every morning, I woke up to wave sounds. I saw real art all around me. Next, I fixed the kitchen. I put up open shelves. I showed off handmade pots and bright woven cloths. It made the kitchen feel warm. Having a routine was important. Each morning, I walked on the beach at sunrise. I collected shells. I watched dolphins jump in the waves. I found a coffee shop nearby. I went there often. They knew my name. Running my business from far away was easy.
I used video calls for meetings. I didn't drive to an office. No office noise. Our work systems ran well. I got more work done. I made better choices from my quiet new office. After 1 month, my work team visited me. Many said I led better. Julian runs our daily work. He said, "You seem more calm. You make choices with more confidence." He was right. Without needing my family to like me, my business ideas came easier. I trusted my own choices. I didn't worry about my dad saying I was wrong anymore.
I joined local groups to feel part of the community. I joined the business group in town. I joined a group for women business owners. In Ohio, I made my success sound small. Here, I told the truth about my company and what I did. People respected me. They didn't care about my past. I became friends with Margot. She owns an art shop. She introduced me to her friends. Smart women in their 30s and 40s. They respected each other for what they do now, not for past school or jobs. We had dinner together every week. We laughed a lot. No one asked about my school. No one said I just got lucky. Then something surprising happened. I had been in Florida 3 weeks. My brother Kevin came to my door one Saturday. I didn't know he was coming. "Nice place," he said. He whistled as he looked at the ocean view. "Really nice." His visit bothered me. This was my new safe place. He looked wrong here. He wore a nice shirt and ironed pants. My house was casual beach style. I said, "Why are you in Florida, Kevin?" I didn't ask him to sit or drink. He said, "Family?" He gave the same smile that always worked on our parents. Then he said, "I need advice about an investment, maybe just me, to start early." Some things never change. Mom and Dad weren't there, so he stopped pretending. This was only about money. I said strongly, "I don't lend money to family anymore. That time is over." His face got angry. He said, "So that's it? You moved to your big beach house? You forget your family? Dad was right about you." I said, "Dad called me dumb trash. He threw me out of his house. Is that why you came? To say that again?" Kevin backed down fast. He said, "I didn't mean it that way. You know how he is. Families fight." I said, "That wasn't a fight. That showed the truth. Now please go. I have things to do today." After he left, I sat on my deck. I watched the waves. I felt okay about what happened. Setting rules felt right, even when it was hard. That night, I made a big choice. I called my lawyer. I started a secret scholarship. I gave it to the college I went to for a short time. The Haim Morrow Scholarship would help 5 students each year. These students would show they could start businesses, but they didn't have good school chances. I told my lawyer, pick students who take action. Pick students who solve problems in new ways. Don't look at grades. Find teachers who really built businesses, not people who just taught business in class. Weeks went by. My house felt like home. I made a garden. I planted Florida flowers. Butterflies and hummingbirds came. I got a dog named Otto. He was a mix of kinds. I saved him from a shelter. He walked with me on the beach. He slept by my bed. His love showed me how good relationships feel. I felt calm and peaceful. I wasn't scared of my family saying bad things anymore. I found parts of myself I forgot. Stress had hidden them. I took a pottery class. I was bad at it, but I liked how it felt. I tried yoga on a paddleboard. I fell in the water a lot, but I laughed every time. 3 weeks passed, then a month, then 6 weeks. The hurt from my family still hurt, but it hurt less, like an old pain that comes back sometimes, not like a new cut. I was building something new here, not just a house, a real life based on what I believe, not what others want. Then something happened, something I didn't expect. It would change everything with my family. I don't usually read the Naples Business Journal, but Margot texted me one morning. She said, "Get a copy. Look at page 3. You'll want to see this." There I was, a picture of me on my deck. The ocean was behind me. The headline said, "Internet business owner brings $1 million company to Naples." The writer did her homework. She told how Heartland Made started small, now worth $21 million. She told how we help American makers. She told about my new scholarship for students. This story showed my success better than anything back home. I told Margot, I didn't say they could write this. She said, public records, your house papers, your business papers.
Once they knew you lived here, it was easy to find out more. And it's a good story." She was right. The article was well done. It said nice things about my work. I didn't think much about it. Then next week, my phone buzzed a lot. Social media lit up. Bigger business magazines shared the story. Then people shared it on LinkedIn and Facebook. People from high school suddenly remembered me.
Teachers said they always knew I'd do well. The biggest surprise was from small business owners in my hometown. They said I showed them what was possible, without going the usual way. One old classmate wrote, "You built something big without a degree. Maybe my business idea is good too." The local paper in my city ran a short version. The headline said, "Local business owner has national impact." I saw the irony. The same people who made me feel bad with my parents now said I was a hometown hero. My family found out how well I was doing because of the news story. First, my cousin Greta sent a friend request. Then other family I barely heard from. Then my mom texted, "I saw the article about your company. Very good work, dear. Dad and I are proud." No sorry for what Dad said, no mention of our fight. Just said they were proud. They never said that at the birthday dinner. Next day, Dad left a voice message. He sounded too happy. He said, "Hi, May. Big news about you in the paper. I always knew you could do it. We had a misunderstanding last time we talked. Call me back." A misunderstanding? That's what he called calling me dumb trash and throwing me out? 3 days later, Mom texted again. "We might visit Florida next month. I'd love to see your new house. Tell me if that's okay." Her message hit me hard. 6 weeks of healing. 6 weeks of building a life without their judgment. Now they wanted to visit like nothing happened. I didn't answer right away. I called Dr. Richardson for an emergency talk. She said, "You have choices. You can say no to the visit. You can say yes but set rules. Or you can see it as a chance to talk honestly. That might help heal things, but only if they admit they hurt you." I thought hard. I wrote my mom, "You and Dad can visit, but first, we need to talk about what happened at his birthday dinner. Tell me if you're willing to do that." Mom answered fast, "Of course, dear. We just want this over. Let's be family again." Her words bothered me. She wanted to forget it without really talking about it. But I said they could come next month. The visit got closer. I got ready. I made plans for my feelings. I had them stay at a hotel nearby, so I could have my own space. I practiced hard talks with Dr. Richardson. I learned to say no without getting mad. My parents came on a nice Tuesday. I met them for lunch at a beach restaurant. Being in public helped keep things calm. They looked smaller, less scary than in Ohio. Dad didn't seem so sure of himself. Mom looked more nervous than I remembered. We were at the beach, but they dressed up. Dad wore a nice shirt and pants. Mom wore a fancy dress. More for church than a beach lunch. Dad looked at the blue water through the window. He said, "This place is amazing. You've done well for yourself, Jaime." I noticed how he said, "yourself," like my success wasn't part of the family. I just said, "Thank you." It got quiet again. Mom talked about small things. Their flight, the weather, how Florida was different from Ohio. I answered nicely, but I didn't talk much. When our food came, Dad cleared his throat. He said, "About my birthday dinner." I said, softly, "You called me dumb trash and a nobody. You told me to get out of your house. You said my money didn't make me family." I looked right at him. Dad's face turned red. He said, "I was surprised about your business. Maybe I reacted too much." That wasn't sorry. That was an excuse. I said, "I need to understand. Were you mad because I told you about my success, or because you found out I helped with money?" Mom cut in. "Both. It felt like you were showing off, like you think you're better than us now." I said, "I never thought that. I hid my success for years so no one would feel bad. I gave money because I could, because I love my family." Dad moved in his seat. He said, "How you told us was too much."
And finding out you paid for those other things, it felt like charity. We didn't ask for that. The whole lunch went on like this. No real sorry, just excuses. They tried to make it seem not so bad. I understood. They were here because my success in the news made them look bad.
not because they thought differently about me. When lunch ended, I decided. I said, "I'll show you my house, but first I need to be clear. I won't pretend the dinner didn't happen. I won't let you call me names. I won't let you say my choices are bad. If we want to move forward, we need to respect each other." They looked at each other. Dad nodded stiffly. He said, "That sounds fair." They came to my beach house that afternoon. When they saw the ocean view, their faces said everything. They couldn't pretend this wasn't real. The $21 million wasn't just a number anymore. It was this house, this view, this nice place. Dad said, "This is really something." His voice sounded tight. I said, "Would you like a tour?" I showed them the house. I pointed out things made by my Heartland-made makers. Then I realized something important. I used to want them to accept me so badly. Now it didn't matter as much. I was proud of this house. I was proud of my company that paid for it. No matter what they said, this feeling was better than any sorry they could give. We talked on the deck. The sun set, the sky turned orange and pink. The talk was hard but important. Dad said, "I need to say something. I'm sorry for what I said at my birthday. It was wrong, even if I was surprised." I was glad he said sorry, but it wasn't a full sorry. He was still focused on how surprised he was, not on how much he hurt me. I said softly, "What hurt most was your words showed how you really see me, even after all I've done." Mom reached toward my hand. She didn't quite touch it. She said, "We've always been proud of you, Jaime. We just worried. Without a degree, what would happen to you?" I said, "My future is here." I pointed to the house and my business. I built this without a degree, but I worked harder than most people for 7 years. That deserves respect, not being talked down to. Dad moved in his seat. He said, "Business can change fast. Companies can fail. We just wanted you to be safe." I said, "I know you worry because you love me, but no path is perfectly safe. Many people with degrees have money problems. Many without degrees do great. What matters is seeing there are many good ways to succeed." We talked for hours. The sun went down, stars came out over the ocean. We didn't have a big happy ending, no crying hug that fixed everything. We made a shaky agreement, just a start, not an end. When they left, I said, "Going forward, I'm willing to fix our relationship, but with rules. I won't let you put me down for not going to college. I won't let you say my success was just luck. It was hard work and skill." My parents agreed, but Dad's smile looked tight. He didn't really want to. Mom seemed more open. Maybe she finally saw her part in how our family hurt so much. After they went back to Ohio, I thought about the visit, how I got here. We weren't fixed yet, but we made progress. Over the next months, I talked to my parents once a week. It got less awkward. My brother and sister were different. Sophia said she was sorry for real. Slowly, we became friends like adults. Kevin stayed away. He sent Christmas wishes sometimes, but he never tried to understand or say sorry for the hurt.
I kept seeing Dr. Richardson to heal. She helped me see how my family hurt affected me. It made me try to prove myself through work and money. She said, "Success doesn't mean you're worth something, and you can't buy family love, no matter how much you give." This helped me set better rules with people. I felt okay talking about my success now. I didn't make it sound small. I gave help because I wanted to, not to get people to like me. My scholarship work became my main way to give back. I didn't just give money. I made a mentor program. It matched successful business owners who didn't go to college with students like them. Seeing these students succeed made me happier than my family's approval ever did. I made more friends in Naples. They became my chosen family. We respected each other. We really connected. We met every week. It felt happy, like I belonged. I never felt that in Ohio. These friends showed me what good support feels like. I picked them carefully. I kept them close. My beach house changed over time. Each room showed my style and what I believe. The garden grew big. Otto, my rescue dog, got a friend. I got Freya. She's an old dog no one wanted.
Running Heartland made from far away worked so well. I let all workers have flexible hours. Work got better. Workers were happier than ever. 1 year after moving to Florida, I had a dinner party for my friends. We sat on my deck. We watched dolphins play in the sunset. I thought how different my life was. From that terrible night at my parents' house to this, to my chosen family. Margot lifted her glass. She said, to choosing respect over duty. Her toast said exactly what I learned. Family matters, but not more than your dignity, not more than feeling good about yourself. Success isn't about degrees or traditional jobs. It's about the lives you help, the good you do. Most important, I learned this. Forgiving doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean letting people hurt you again. Real forgiveness means letting go of anger, but still keeping good boundaries. My story isn't over. Like everyone's, it keeps going. My relationship with my parents changes, sometimes better, sometimes back to old ways. I keep my rules. I'm kind but firm. I know they may never fully understand me, but I won't stop respecting myself to try to make them. My life taught me this. Your worth isn't what others think, especially when they think old ways. Success comes in many ways, often when you don't expect it. The worst rejections can lead to the best future, a real future, a happy future.